What's up, guys? I got a quick story to tell you before I preview the Central Washington Wildcats. When I was at CWU, I volunteered at the campus radio station, and I started a sports show that was on the air for 3.5 academic years. I guess you could say that. And one of the things we did is we started a coaches show at a local ice cream and coffee shop in town, and it got on the student channel, and there were banners hanging from the shop, and we got to interview coaches and players from CWU. It was a lot of fun. And I recently was in Ellensburg visiting some people, and we stopped by Weininger's, that's the place, and they were nice enough to give me this. This is one of the banners that hung on the shop. It says coffee with the coaches. And there's the S is right there. And so this is, just wanted to thank Weininger's for this gift. It's going to go up on my wall. If you want to check out the campus radio station, go to 881theberg.com. I'm not too sure what happened to Copy Dog. I'm wondering if they became Sign Dog, but I could be wrong about that. So to thank Weininger's for this gift, wanted to give them some free advertising. Weininger's, if you ever stop in Ellensburg, go to Weininger's Homemade Ice Cream and Coffee. I'm actually not a coffee drinker, believe it or not, but I am a soda drinker, and their Extreme Bulls energy drinks are very good. They also make a pretty mean hot chocolate, and their ice cream is awesome. So check out Weininger's if you ever happen to drive through Ellensburg, Washington. Okay, that being said, let's preview the Wildcats. Okay, welcome to the final installment of Football Week here on the Pug's Thoughts in the Doghouse. We're going to preview the Central Washington Wildcats. Now, before we get this underway, I have given basic information about Division II football on more than one occasion. So I got the links below to all the videos where I give background information of what Division II football is all about, why going to a bowl game is a bad thing, how the playoff system works, and that type of deal. So if you have questions on how Division II football works, you can either watch those, I'll have the links below, or you can just ask me a question in the comments, and we'll go from there. So we're going to preview the Central Washington Wildcats. They are going to play Texas A&M Kingsville to open up the season on Friday, September 2nd. Now, what's very interesting about this season is for the first time in a long time, we only have 2 non-conference games, and we have a bye week. I do not remember the last time the Wildcats had a bye week, and it's been a really long time. So that's the first thing that's different about this year. The Wildcats actually are ranked going into the season, which I'm a little surprised at after the year they had. I'm happy about it, but I'm a little surprised at. It makes the Texas A&M Kingsville game mean something. Kingsville is ranked, I think, 12th or 8th in the country. I can't remember, but they are ranked in the top 25, so it will be a battle of top 25 opponents. So it could give the Wildcats an opportunity to make a splash at the start of the season. The other non-conference team we have to play is West Texas A&M. And there's actually a history between the two schools. West Texas A&M and Central met in the playoffs, I think 3 years ago. It was in 2008, and West Texas A&M won. I think it was either by two field goals or 1 touchdown. It was something like that. It was Mike Riley's last game as a Wildcat. And so we played, and then after that, Central played West Texas A&M in Ellensburg in 2009, and now we're going down to Texas to play the Buffaloes to return the favor. So that should be fun. As far as the team goes, we lost Bryson Kelly, our top running back, due to graduation. He now is signing. He's now with the Oakland Raiders. He's trying to get on the team there. And we also lost Adam Bighill. Adam Bighill was our top linebacker. He graduated, and he is now on the roster of the British Columbia Lions, the BC Lions of the Canadian Football League. So our quarterback did show some signs of improvement compared to the first year when he just flat out lost the position. But he is a Blaine Bennett recruit. Blaine Bennett's our head coach. So I'm not going to be surprised if he is the guy who wins the position this year. Looking at the conference, I think that obviously since the Wildcats won the conference last year with the 8-3 record, overall record, excuse me, they are definitely predicted to do well this year as well. The loss that killed the Wildcats in terms of going to the playoffs, in my opinion, was the loss to Humboldt State. Humboldt State came out of nowhere last year and just had its best year since I've been following Central football. They no longer were a doormat where you could just whip them 30-0 at halftime and pull your starters and let your second and third string play against them. So I'm definitely concerned about the Lumberjacks this year. Simon Fraser, not so much. Simon Fraser again is the Canadian school that we have. I think they made some improvements and they're slowly but surely adjusting to the NCAA. But I think they may show some improvements. I have them in fourth. In third, I got the Western Oregon Wolves just because I think they have a really good program down there. That's the first thing. And even though they have lost some players due to graduation, they still are competitive. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not great. They're right in the middle this year, I think. The team I think is going to finish last in the conference is Dixie State. They've just, ever since joining the Great Northwest Athletic Conference, they've gone from here to here. I know they were a junior college and they're recently a Division II school, so they're trying to, improve, but they just really haven't shown anything. So I'm hoping they don't pull a Humboldt State this year and upset the Wildcats like the Lumberjacks did. As far as the team, if they want to go to the playoffs, it's the same thing. Like last year, got to go undefeated in that conference in order to at least be recognized. And I think they need to go at least 1-1 in their non-conference game. With the Wildcats being ranked at the beginning of the season, that definitely helps. I do, as much as I hate to say this, it kills me, and I think it's really good. I think the Wildcats might be a little overrated. Because they did not play like a top 25 team last year. They just didn't. They fell out, and once they fell out of the top 25, that was it. So hopefully, now since we're ranked, we can keep winning to stay in the top 25 and make a case of why we deserve to go to the playoffs. Because remember, you can be ranked in the top 25, like 25th or 24th, and still miss the playoffs. So hopefully that helps. We're definitely going to homecoming this year, so we'll see. You'll see the Wildcats take on the Humboldt State Lumberjacks again. That's another thing. Why does Central always schedule homecoming against Humboldt State? I mean, I remember the one year that homecoming was not against Humboldt State, and it was awesome. It was amazing. It's like I mean, kind of funny story about homecoming against Humboldt State. My last quarter at Central, it was fall quarter, and Central has a tradition of bringing in I don't know how they do it, but they bring in a big-time comedian to put on a show. And so while I was at Central, I saw Drew Carey and his Improv All-Stars. I saw Damon Wayans, Colin Mockery, and Brad Sherwood from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Colin Mockery also does this hour of 22 minutes, or used to. And but the big one, my last quarter, was Bill Cosby. Yeah, Bill Cosby came, and he performed a show, and he did his classic dentist routine, which was awesome. But one of his first jokes was, "Humboldt State is the capital of marijuana. I'm very surprised that you all were afraid you're going to lose to them. They were probably exiting the locker room to head to the field at halftime and thinking the referees were the opponents. They were probably lucky enough to find the right sideline. You picked a good team for homecoming. It's like, can we schedule somebody else like Simon Fraser, Western Oregon, or even an NAIA school for that matter? Because we always play Humboldt State for homecoming. It would be nice. It would spice things up a little bit. So, but anyway, as far as this season goes, I do think we're going to win another conference championship. It's theirs to lose. But if we want to go to the playoffs, frankly, I'm very sorry to say this, we can only lose one game, and that game has to be a non-conference game. We have to win. We have to beat either Texas A&M Kingsville or West Texas A&M. Funny that both of them have A&M in the name. But we have to win one of those games, and we have to go undefeated in the conference. We lose, our chances are very, very low. There is a chance if we lose one conference game to go into the postseason, but frankly, it depends on what that conference opponent does throughout the rest of the year. So, and how they do it. Again, it's non-conference opponents. So hopefully we can win the conference again, and that will conclude football week. Go Wildcats! Like I said, we're definitely going to homecoming this year, so you'll see that video later on in the season. And go Cats! Let's go win another conference title at least.